XRP to $3. We're going to talk about what it takes to get us there, along with states, companies, and countries creating BTC strategic reserves. What does this mean for the alts? Well, it's good, especially
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
You know we're going to talk XRP whale activity along with Saylor being nuts AF. But before we get into that, your comments matter most. Yes, because you, the viewer, matter most. Nick82, channel member, thank you, sir. Start Stuff says, Klaus, congratulations again on over 1,000 likes. This simply means that more and more people will see your content, whether it's good or news, bad news, happy or sad. Can't wait for your next video. Well, thank you, Nick. Yeah, and we just hit the 30,000 mark. Trick, supporting the channel. Thank you very kindly, Trick. By the way, to my fans across the pond, careful with the weather out there. I know it's a bit chilly and windy. Trick says, thanks for keeping it real and entertaining, Klaus, to insanity and beyond. Trick, how crazily different is this? Thinking of how the world vibe is now versus, say, March versus June. It's only been so long and it's just so different. Shane Liang says, Happy Sunday. Here's a question. Do you think that with the new people moving in, do you think they'll start investigating ETH and the whole ETHgate thing? Shane, we're going to talk about that along with what? Oh, I'm taking the Carbon Rudbach out today. Why? Because I love me some duathlons too.
All right, go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Ah, yes, that's my wife telling me to go, go, go. So let's go, go, go. Bitcoin sitting at 100,017 while ETH is 39.90, stalled at around 4,000. We're going to talk about that. There's going to be a theme you notice with today's video. It's going to tie into XRP price. XRP price, 256, by the way. XLM battling for 50 cents right now at 48.7. ADA under $1.20, while meme looks deep in the green. By the way, meme market cap, all-time high. Michael Saylor claims the U.S. should replace gold with Bitcoin. There's some stats here that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to talk about this. Saylor has reignited the debate on Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. In an interview, Saylor argued that the United States should replace gold with BTC in its reserves, stating that this move would enhance the country's overall control of the global capital network. MicroStrategy chief believes that Bitcoin helps strengthen and position for global dominance. Listen to this. He suggests that the U.S. government acquire 20 to 25% of all Bitcoin. Saylor predicts this move could lower gold's value, forcing countries like Russia and China to sell their golden assets. Saylor, I get it, but the United States also owns a shit ton of gold. So you would be cutting off your own hand to feed your mouth, my guy. That's not good. And I think that's what you have to keep in mind. These players out there, especially these maxis like Saylor, are nuts AF. And they believe that BTC is the only answer. Here's the thing. Do I think we should have some BTC strategic reserve? Yes. Do I think maybe the United States government should get into a few of the other cryptos out there? Yes. Do I think we should own gold? Yes. Silver? Yes. Oil? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Be diversified. I don't want the United States government to go from being heavy in one thing to heavy in another. No, spread it out. All right, let's spread it out. By the way, if you want to catch out that Saylor interview, that and everything else you see in all my videos are all linked down below. Dude is nuts AF. Global crypto power plays. All right, going to talk about more about strategic reserve assets. We're going to talk about some interesting plays here and how big this move is. And this ties into XRP. You're going to love this. Global crypto power plays. Which governments are hoarding the most Bitcoin? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Countries holding BTC. So if all of a sudden you hold all the big BTC, what's then to stop it from, say, like a country like China or Russia going, okay, cool, well, now we're going to focus our reserves on this asset over here. And then a bunch of other countries go after it, and then you're like, oh, but I've got this. And they're like, well, we don't care. Many people might be surprised to learn that several countries hold a ton of BTC. United States, almost 200,000 BTC. China, almost 200,000. The UK, hello, fans across the pond, 61,000 BTC. Bhutan, the royal government, 12,000 BTC. El Salvador, about 6,000 BTC. I just thought I would share it with you because, again, we're talking about Saylor and strategic reserves, saying, hey, if United States does this and goes big into BTC, we're going to blow the doors off of everyone. But, like, if China's a big whale like us, isn't that just making us equal like China too? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of flaws with maxi thinking. And it's not that I'm knocking maxis. It's just, you have to think in a financial world, I get it, but you gotta be diversified, man. Like, I don't know, maxis, it gets a little scary for me. All right. Going to keep talking about this whole global thing because remember, this is all happening in waves. There is a Polish presidential candidate out there that they're running on the platform of saying, hey, look, we want to make BTC as a strategic reserve, okay? So listen to some stats here, and we're going to talk about this in money and flowing. Over 38% of polls have encountered information about crypto scams. More than 38% of adult polls have heard about someone being scammed while purchasing crypto. That's not a good percentage. Meanwhile, over 48% of polls remain unaware of these risks, and nearly 14% of respondents do not call whether they've come across such cases. Okay. So if you start getting these countries coming into BTC, into crypto later than everyone else, because you know how it happens, right? You get your early people into it, then you get the people that are like, oh, okay, cool. And then, it kind of comes in waves and like different chunks. So if Poland is kind of coming in at their own realm to it, they're going to be susceptible like scams and schemes and so forth like we saw here in the United States and like what we've seen also in other crypto forward countries, right? Where they're like, yo, there's a lot of money flowing. When there's a lot of money flowing, scams are flowing, right? So you're going to have to see trust, right? Just like how we've worked on getting some of the bad actors out of crypto here, we got to work on getting some of the bad actors out of crypto in other places too, like the scams are bad, a lot of the pump and dumps are bad, and honestly, just the fraudulent practices are bad. I'm bringing this up because crypto is money, and money is trust, right? And that's what this is all about. So as we go through this journey, we're all at different places of trust, which means we're at different levels of money flowing into that economy. The more trust you get, the more money that flows in. If you're early in the process, well, there's not going to be a lot of money flowing in. So I said this is going to come in waves. Now let's take this a little bit further, okay? We talked about companies, we talked about countries. Now let's talk about states. And you're like, Klaus, states? Yeah, states. This is going to happen on so many different levels because think, you're going to have other countries out there where states within those countries or territories or districts or whatever the hell you want to call them are going to be wanting to do the same thing for their regions. Canada, right? We all know about Canada. Our friends du Nord, yeah. Guess what? They've got secessionists, Quebec secessionists. Quebec secessionism is a bit radical, but Quebec wants to do their own thing. And what's interesting about that is what if Quebec is like, okay, Canada, well, look, we want to start reinforcing the financials of the province of Quebec. So in order to do that, we're going to go BTC Strategic Reserve. And then all of a sudden they make a lot of money. And then they're like, yo, Canada, you can go F yourself. I mean, not that that's really going to happen, but that's the thinking behind it. That you're going to have states that can gain more power from this. Well, what do I got? Florida and Pennsylvania trying to do BTC strategic reserves. What about Wyoming? Yeah, you know Cynthia Lumens, nuts AF, BTC Maxi, wants it hardcore for Wyoming. So you're seeing states jump in on this. So now we start talking about this, XRP to $3, all right? XRP crosses 250, can whale activity sustain the rally? Is it really whale activity that's going to sustain this rally? Because let's come back full circle, and then we're going to talk XRP. And actually, we're still talking XRP, but we're talking your comments first about XRP. And that's this. When Shane says, do you think the new people moving in, do you think they're going to start investigating ETH and the whole thing? Well, I think what's going to happen is this. DOGE, you guys know about the Department of Governmental Efficiency? Tasked to find $2 trillion in spending cuts. Here's the thing. They said, yeah, we can find $2 trillion, but it's going to take us almost a decade to cut. See what I'm saying here? So the stuff that we're watching right now, right? The announcements now about them going, yo, we're going to find $2 trillion. Cool, but it's going to take us a decade to get there. Poland is dealing with cryptocurrency. It's going to take them a few years to work through all the problems that other countries that have been more crypto forward have worked through, right? You're now looking at XRP. XRP, we're all sitting here thinking, okay, cool. We're at $2.50. Now what? No, I mean, seriously, ask that question out loud as you're watching this video. No, maybe don't do it in the public because then people are going to think you're nuts as shit. But just ask yourself in the head, now what? Well, now this is where different things start hitting. And that's why the market right now is taking a look. You're seeing certain things hot, certain things move sideways. BTC's pretty much stalled at 100,000. ETH couldn't break the 4 and hold it too much. XRP seems pretty strong in that 240, 250. XLM's right around that 57. So you're seeing a lot of key prices here. That's because a lot of what's going on is going to take time. So even this Doge thing that says, hey, $2 trillion a year, that's awesome. But the effects are going to take a few years to get there. What about regs, right? What about trust? You want more money to flow into crypto? You want to break XRP to $3? And I'm telling you, this is how I'm tying it in. You're going to need what? You're going to need more trust. And you're sitting there, but Klaus, there's trust for XRP. We have the, no. That's maybe how you and I feel. But remember, you and I are the early people to this. There is so many people out there percentage-wise that are not into crypto versus people that are into it. We're the minority, right? We're the fringe group, right? We're the early people in this whole momentum. And when you look at that, you're sitting here going, okay. How do we then get those people over there that are not early, that are watching us on the sideline make the money, get involved with us? Well, we have to bring up trust, which means we have to fix the scams like you're seeing in Poland, right? You have to figure out, what are you going to do with the BTC strategic reserve? Are you ever going to cash that in for other commodities? Would you cash that in for oil to make your nation more independent? Like, could you do something with the reserves to help your infrastructure? Oh, that would be juicy, right? And that's what I'm saying. These are all going to be different time frame waves that hit us. So XRP to $3, well, now what? We've heard the news. We've heard the announcements. Whales, yeah, they're cool, but whales really aren't buying it enough to cause the price to just go bonkers. We've tracked the data. You've seen the charts that I've shared with you. So it's not just whales, it's the whole movement. And that whole movement, though, needs more. More trust, more regs, more clarity on a future direction. Because think, as we've made this massive change here over the last month, right, where we've seen a massive shift across the entire globe, who's to say that it doesn't revert back to how it is, or how it was 4 years ago? Who's to say that this is here to stay? Movements don't always last. Sometimes movements do really good. Like, remember the green energy movement in the United States? Let's go fucking wind power on everything. Let's go solar on everything. How did that do? That was a whole big fucking flop. That sucked. It didn't do shit. The promises of green energy were jack shit Ola. But that was a movement. And that's what traders are looking at right now. They're going, okay. We've got all this. Now what? And that's when you start talking about getting XRP to $3 involves the things we talked about in this video. Now, price-wise, watch this, okay? Zoom in here, all right? This looks pretty volatile, right? You're like, well, there's a lot of movement going on here in such a short time frame. Well, as you zoom out, look how much tighter this is getting right here over this last 24, 36 hours. Since XRP made that move above the $2.40, you could tell we're stuck under 260, healthy above 240, with some support above 250. But it's soft support as of right now. And the reason I say it's soft support is because, look, we know the market is really happy with XRP above 220. You can see massive amounts of volume right around those price points. But around this price point right here, it's nowhere near the same volume. It's also the weekend when traditional finance, and yes, traditional finance is still tied into crypto because a lot of TradeFi players maybe have a small portion into crypto. Maybe they got 1%, 2% of their portfolio into crypto. So TradeFi likes to hang out during the business week, and we're going to see if the business week keeps this momentum going with XRP. Because all week long, for the rest of December, up to January 20th, people are going to be saying, well, now what? Well, the now what is going to be happening, and I'm going to be glad to share it with you. So we're all in this at different times and at different places. And this also has to deal with governments. They're at different places in different stages when it comes to crypto. So I don't see the whole market just completely going bonkers and just going nuts, because not all the news is going to hit that way. You're going to have countries out there, you know, the stubborn ones that are going to wait till way at the end to go into BTC. There are always players late to the bus that got into gold. There were players that were late to get into oil exploration. And you've seen that, and you've seen the effects of it. And there's always late players to the game, which always means there's going to be later money to the game, which also means there's going to be plenty and plenty of waves of this news. And the journey we're on is just starting, but we don't know where it's going to take us, and we don't know if it's sustainable. A month and a half ago, we were all worried that crypto was just going to get crushed if elections went a certain way. And they didn't. All of a sudden, a bunch of optimism blew into the market. And now we're sitting here going, okay, cool, we did that, but can we keep that optimism going? After the next 4 years, 6 years, is the world going to look at crypto more positively? Are you and I going to be hanging out in 2030, looking back going, yo, 2024 was pivotal. That was the real start of the move. Or are we going to be at 2030 going, oh, shit, Gary Gensler 2.0, his nephew, cousin, whatever, is in charge of the SEC, and they're wrecking crypto again. We don't know. It's that early in this move. So hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out, because this train conductor is saying, choo choo bitches.